Hi, I'm sorry if we get cut off. I apologize. So I don't know how we're doing on my memory. We were reviewing some material from a class of mine, which uses a software called Aztec, and it's interdisciplinary material. So my review goes over all the information in that app. So we were in the mathematics section, and we just finished learning about solving equations for x and y and finding a solution of a set of lines which represent those equations, so which is the same thing. Okay, the next part, let's see. I'm going to do the section for rational versus irrational numbers. This is not too difficult. Rational numbers plus irrational numbers make up the set of what is called the real numbers. And real numbers are essentially every single point on the number line. So a rational number is defined as a number that can be written as a ratio. Any number that can be written as a fraction in which the top number and the bottom number are both integers and the bottom number is not zero is called a rational number. This includes whole numbers, integers, for example, -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. Arithmetic fractions and terminating or repeating decimals are rational numbers. Examples: 3 over 4 or 4 over 5. And a rational number or fraction can be converted to a decimal by dividing the numerator by the denominator. Example: 5 over 8 is 5 divided by 8, which equals 0.625, which is a rational number. On the other hand, irrational numbers are numbers that cannot be written as simple fractions. They're not repeating, and basically they don't make any kind of sense at all. Therefore, they're called irrational. So decimals that do not terminate, so they just keep going on, and they do not repeat. Therefore, there's no repeating bar on top of the decimal. These are called irrational numbers. For example, the square root of 2 is 1.414213 ... So this is an irrational number. The square root of 3 is 1.372050 ... This is also an irrational number. Pi, which is the ratio of the circumference of a circle to its diameter, is an irrational number as well. Pi is 3.14159 ... which means it goes on. There's more numbers following. So these are irrational. More irrational numbers: 0.938572, 0.213155, 0.5793219. So they don't make any kind of logical sense. They're just a bunch of random numbers. So it's called irrational. They can't really be written as a fraction. So don't go about trying to round them and then say they're irrational. You just have to take them the way they are, and just exactly the way they are. Okay. So again, terminating decimals end. For example, 3 over 8 is 0.375. 3 over 5 is 0.6. And then repeating decimals have parts of the decimal which repeat over and over again. It can be 1 digit or 2 digits, etc. So if you have 0.6666, etc., this is a repeating decimal. If you have 0.7777, which is the same as 7 over 9, this is repeating. 14 over 33 is 0.42 with a bar over it, which means the 0.42 repeats. 0.42, 42, 42, 42. So this is a repeating decimal. So whichever portion of the decimals that's repeating, you put a bar over that portion. If it's 0.54, 54, 54, you put just 0.54 with a bar over it. So terminating and repeating are rational numbers. So next thing, percentages and decimals. Well, percentage means per 100, or out of 100, or divided by 100. If you're writing a decimal version of the percentage, you're gonna divide by 100. So you move the decimal 2 places to the left and put as many zeros as needed before the number. 4% is 0.04. 20% is 0.20. 80% is 0.80. So that's how you write a percent as a decimal. To write a decimal as a percent, you do the opposite. You multiply by 100 and move the decimal 2 places to the right. So 0.145 is 14.5%. 0.75 is 75%. 0.60, which is also the same as 3 over 5th, is 60%. 0.33 is 33%. So that is that. The next section we are starting is about angles. An angle is defined as 2 rays. Rays are basically straight lines that go in a direction, particular direction. Rays that share the same endpoint. So the endpoint or the meeting point is called the vertex. If you have 2 rays meeting at an endpoint, you can label the angle. So the rays are called also the sides as well. So you can name them A at the end, the end of one ray will be A. The vertex will be B, and the end of the other ray will be C. So that angle will be named ABC, and B is the middle of those 2 sides, is the crossing point of the 2 rays or sides. So the center letter is always going to be the letter standing for the vertex of the angle, or the meeting point of those 2 rays. So you write it, the angle symbol, which looks just like an angle, ABC, or sometimes they can just write angle B, which is just naming the angle after the vertex. There are different kinds of angles depending on how your rays are configured. If the rays meet at an angle, well, you can have a right angle. That means the rays will meet at a 90-degree angle, and a box is placed at the meeting point or the vertex to indicate the 90-degree angle. So if anything below 90 degrees for the angle, it's called acute. Anything above 90 degrees is called obtuse for the angle. If it's a straight line that comes out of combining those 2 rays, that means the angle is 180 degrees. So those are basically the kinds of angles you can have. So right, acute, obtuse, and a straight line. Okay, we're gonna continue in the next part. Thank you.